Good afternoon, community members, staff, parents, teachers, administrators, students. My name is Tim Carter, Superintendent of Wilson Central School District. It is Friday, April 30th, and thank you for joining me watching my video update for Friday, April 30th. I want to begin by saying welcome and thank you. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication on behalf of the district, and thank you for your patience and your consideration as we get through the hopefully the end of this school year. I'm going to start out with some updates for you. The first one is a COVID update. As of today, Friday, April 30th, 2021, at approximately 1 o'clock this afternoon, the Niagara County has reported 18,821 positive COVID-19 cases, and that's since March of 2020, with 317 of those cases occurring in the town of Wilson and 92 of them in the village of Wilson. Currently, the Niagara County Department of Health is reporting 482 active positive cases, with 19 of them in the town and the village of Wilson. This number has gone down a bit over the last few days, and even since the board meeting when I did my superintendent report on Tuesday, the number has come down a tad bit, both in the county and also in the town and village of Wilson. In the Wilson school community, we currently have recorded 77 positive COVID-19 cases. The 77th, you'll receive a letter tomorrow, but that 77th case was reported today in the Wilson community. 19 of those cases are staff member and 57 of them are students. We have reported 17 positive cases since returning from spring break, which has led to many quarantine, classes being closed down at the elementary school, sports teams going on pause and such. The positivity rate for the Western New York region has gone up a bit. Niagara County's 7-day rolling average is 8.2%, which is up over the last 2 weeks. As you probably know, on April 9th, 2021, the New York State Department of Health adopted the Center for Disease Control's prevention guidance that said that a student in grades pre-K to 12 only need to remain 3 feet apart in classroom, not the 6 feet as previously recommended at the beginning of the school year. That update guidance applies to school with universal masking policies, which means throughout the school day, the kids are wearing masks all day, and so are staff. At the elementary level, the 3 feet recommendation applies regardless of the community transmission rate. However, at the middle and high schools, there is a guideline that attaches your ability to go to 3 feet based upon the community transmission rate. If your community transmission rate is low, moderate, or sustained, you can reopen and you go to 3 feet. If your community transmission rate is high, unfortunately, you are not allowed to go to 3 feet. You must remain not only at 6 feet, but in what they're calling cohorting of schools, which is what we're currently doing at the middle of Skies High School. We're staying 6 feet apart and cohorting A and B days. While I certainly was hopeful for those guidance to change and for the governor and the Department of Health to adopt the guidance of 3 feet, and it was an important step in some sense of normalcy, it hasn't been and it won't be an immediately switch for our middle school and high school. As of today, we fall into the high transmission rate because our cases per 100,000 population of this area is above the 100 case guideline that the CDC and Department of Health recommends. Currently, we're sitting at approximately 238. It has come down over the last 2 weeks, but 238 cases per 100,000 is where we're sitting at, which is well into the high transmission rate. We'd have to go below 100 cases per 100,000 and sustain that for a period of time in order for us to start considering reopening at the middle and high school and allow more students to return. So what does this mean for Wilson Central School District moving forward? I firmly believe that in order for kids to do well in school, they need to be in school. But the return of more kids to school is a process. It's going to take time. and it's going to take numbers to continue to start going down. I want to make it clear we have measured, remeasured, counted spaces, and have sets of data. We have sent surveys out to parents, we have surveys out to staff. We know what the community wants. We believe we were able to do it. We just need the transmission rate to go down so we can do it. I have not assigned or have not picked any date for return of students, because until that community rate goes below 100 per 100,000 population, when that occurs, I'll start thinking about setting a date and begin the process of communicating to staff and communicating to the reopening team, and then go ahead and set a community forum, because no change can happen unless there's a community forum. I've met with stakeholders. We'll continue to meet with stakeholders, get feedback, and then make recommendations to the reopening team and to the Board of Education. I will continue to meet with administrators, staff, and teachers in order to make what I consider a good decision for kids and a safe and healthy decision for our kids. You probably heard many Western New York schools have returned to school. That's been the big highlight over the last couple of weeks. They returned to school. Keep in mind that those are only elementary students returning to schools. Many elementary school students have returned 4 or 5 days for in-person instruction. Our Wilson Elementary School has already been 4 days, and it was at 5 days at the beginning of the year. Up in December, we reduced it to 4 days, and we are currently continuing to do 4 days. I also believe we're doing more for our middle school and high school than other schools in the area are doing, because while our students are in person 2 days, the other 2 days that they're not in person, they are receiving instruction virtually, but they're actually remoting into the classroom with the ability to watch instruction happen. That's not occurring everywhere around Western New York. In many cases, they're only getting primary instruction on the 2 days that they're in school, and then they're given work the rest of the time. So I do believe we're doing much more for our kids, and believe me, I'd be the first one to say I would want to have all of our kids back as much as possible, because that's what school is. School is not done on television, and the best thing to do is in person, face to face. I'll continue to meet with these groups, administrators and teachers in the coming weeks, and be ready for any news that the community transmission rate has gone down, and then we'll make some good decisions. I've been asked, do I have a cutoff date where I will not reopen schools? I really haven't thought of a cutoff date, but I will say the deeper you get into May, the more difficult it is going to be to return students. I really don't want to return students for 1-2 weeks in June, because as soon as the beginning of June starts, we begin our preparation for Regents exam, final exams, and half days, and I don't want to create that kind of a mess. So I would say by the time we get about halfway through May, if there's no reduction in the community transmission rate, we were probably going to be putting our eyes on our planning for the beginning of September and what that would look like. I don't have any idea what that would look like. Last year, we didn't receive any kind of guidance until August. My hope is we have it well before then. And as soon as I have it, I'll start communicating to staff, communicating to the administrators, and get it out to the community. Our team in Wilson has met and will continue to meet and have conversations about instruction, what will it look like this year and what's it going to look like next year. Rest assured, prior to any changes at the high school and middle school level, I would hold public meetings to answer questions and give what I believe is the best suggestion moving forward. If you need clarification at any time, please don't hesitate to give me a call. Direct line into my office is 751-9399. That's a direct line to Mrs. Pavan, the district clerk, and she would be glad to get the message to me or to answer a question for you. I'm available for questions at any time. So that's my update for COVID-19 and next steps. I wanted to let the community know and the staff know that Niagara County Department of Health has been holding vaccine clinics all over Niagara County, primarily in large settings, either in Niagara Falls, Lockport, or in North Tonawanda. They've exhausted that ability to keep going with those large groups, so they're going to start reaching out to do some small clinics in the month of May, and they've chosen Wilson, and I'm going to work with the Department of Health in order to work with this vaccine distribution. So in the month of May, on May 20th, from 9 a.m. to 2:40 p.m., there'll be more information on this, but on May 20th at Wilson Central School District, we will use the Zip Gym like we did for the testing, the voluntary testing site. On May 20th from 9 a.m. to 2:40 p.m. in the Zip Gym, we'll be holding a voluntary vaccine site. Pre-registration is strongly encouraged. However, they are going to take walk-ins. This is for anyone who lives in the town of Village of Wilson or anywhere in Niagara County. They may come here and get a vaccine. They will return. That will be for the first shot. It is Moderna. The first dose of the Moderna vaccine will be on May 20th. Then they will return for the second dose on June 17th. So those are the two dates for the vaccine. Prom update. You're going to receive some more specific information, seniors and juniors and parents of seniors and juniors, from Mr. Galgovich, our high school principal. However, I can tell you that we are going to move forward with our prom plans. We're currently planning on holding it at Spring Lake Winery on Friday, June 4th. It'll be an evening prom. We are going to cap the amount of students that are able to attend at 175, which is pretty close to the number we usually get. But we're going to cap it, obviously prioritizing our senior class students because this is their last prom. But it's going to be similar to a regular prom. There'll be some guidelines and things that are going to have to occur while we're there. It is going to be an outdoor venue underneath the pavilion. They do have some weather blocking tents and things like that if we need to use them. But if it's a good night, it will be outside. It allows us to do two things: have more students. We're allowed to go up to 200 students and staff combined. So we'll do 175 students and then chaperones, and it includes the staff from the winery for their event. So it'll be an outdoor event at Spring Lake Winery on Friday, June 4th. And we can go up to 200 people without having to require students to be vaccinated. So that's important, or a negative test. Now that gets us to graduation. We are still planning graduation on the 26th of June at Art Park. It will not be, as of right now, like we did last year with 2 sessions. It will not be like that. We will do 1 session. We will not be inside the Art Park Theater. We'll be in the outdoor amphitheater, because outdoor venues will allow us to go up to a larger number of people. Yes, if it rains, we'll get wet. But hopefully we'll have, the gods will be with us and we won't have to worry about any rain or any kind of bad weather. But we'll do the outdoor event. We can go up to 500. That will allow our seniors to bring as many family members as possible. The only caveat is that Niagara County Department of Health and New York State Department of Health is requiring anyone present at graduation outdoors up to that number. They must be vaccinated or have a negative COVID test within 72 hours from the event. So you're going to receive some more information on that going forward. But like I said, there are 2 events, one in May 20th and then again on June 17th, in which the vaccine is being given. If you choose to go that direction, we're providing that ability to do that. I didn't count the days to see from the 17th to the 26th if that's 2 weeks. It might be right on 2 weeks or just a little bit short 2 weeks. If you don't want to go that route, which is absolutely your decision, you are going to need a negative COVID test within 72 hours of that 26th date. We're trying to set some things up with Niagara County. We're working towards having some kind of testing facility here to help facilitate that. I can't guarantee that right now. We're working towards that. I still got about a month and a half to go. Within the next month, we'll have more information. As of right now, we do not have it set up. So that information will go out to senior parents very, very soon. There's a ton of different end of the year guidelines. Please don't hesitate to watch out for that information from your building principals. And if you receive it and don't understand anything, please contact your building principals so that you know when the end of the year date is, if it's a half day or a full day for students as you get closer to June. Regents exams, if there's final exam, all of that information has been sent out or will be sent out in the next week or so by the building principals. If you didn't receive it, please reach out to the schools and you'll get that information sent to you. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and stay Wilson strong.